I want to welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. When you entered college with the intent to become a minister, you were surrounded by professors with great knowledge and opinions. Did you ever have any professors who worked to put their own spin to the Bible? And how did you handle it? Well, absolutely. In fact, just a couple of Sundays ago, I told a famous story in my life about how I entered a New Testament class at a very large historic Baptist university where this respected professor took what you and I know as a Bible. He went and he leaned on one side of the lecture hall and he said that some people believe this book contains the words of God. They're inspired by God, preserved by God. Every single word, even down to the conjunctions, are from God. Then he went and leaned on the other side of the wall. And he claimed that some people say, it's just a good book, no different than any others. The same professor took one step off of that wall and said, this is where your professor stands. Let's get started. Now, the reason I tell that story in brief is, believe it or not, at least on the collegiate undergraduate level, when it came to what we might call theological education, the majority of the professors that I encountered put their spin on the Bible and did not allow the Bible to put a spin, quote, on them. Unfortunately, with the advent of what we call textual criticism and all types of hermeneutical approaches, I know those are fancy words just for studying the scriptures. All that being said, more often than not, I encountered those professors at that level who wanted to make the Bible say something it didn't say or remove that which it did say. Now, the question was, how did I respond to it? Well, I'm going to be very transparent. The first 18 to 24 months, not very well. These were men and ladies who had incredible amounts of education, had great personas, were great together. They're so nice, and they kind of wanted you to want to be around them and to think like they did. And I found myself going down a rabbit trail. In fact, I began to embrace a lot of these theories and a lot of these ideologies and a lot of these non-biblical constructs regarding the Bible. But thankfully, almost like the prodigal son. Now, we know the story in Luke 15. The prodigal was out living a life of riotous living against God. I was kind of my own prodigal. I was a theological prodigal. I was shall we say, a biblical prodigal. But thankfully, I came to my senses. And I realized that I'm not God. And who am I to tell God what he did or did not say and or mean by what he said? And so gratefully, about my junior year in college, I came out of that rabbit hole. And obviously, if you've watched this channel enough, or if you've been a part of any of the churches I pastored, in the Bible studies I've led, I'm very clear. God said what he meant, and he meant what he said. And I'm going to close this very brief discussion with an event that happened that junior year. It was spring break my junior year, and most of my friends went and had a good time, went to the beach, whatever it was. I went to my bedroom of my apartment. I don't remember much about that week. I don't know if I ate. I don't know if I slept. My roommates were gone. This was the day before the cell phones and the internet. It was just me and God. And I had it out. It was kind of my Jacob moment. Remember Jacob wrestling with the angel of the Lord? All I remember about that week is on a Friday morning, early in the morning, the sun was barely coming up. My eyes awoke. Tears had been there. Been a tough night, been a tough week. And I remember taking that old black Bible and putting it on my bed with tears in my eyes and making this statement: I'm done. I didn't mean I was done with the faith. I was done fighting God. I said, no longer will I find all these fancy constructs to somehow make the Bible say what I want it to say. It says what it says, and it means what it means. I did encounter, per the question, those that were in opposition at the collegiate level. Thankfully, I came to my senses. Thankfully, God was patient and graceful with me, and I'm grateful today that I not only have the view of Scripture that I do, but I survived the struggle. Great question. If you have one, send to AskJeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will. Continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.